Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a milestone of From the Chair Where Inclusion Matters with Big Money Exchange. Sorry, I almost forgot the Big Money Exchange. I was so excited. The milestone, obviously, congratulations to our guest T Rex. You are our 50th interview. You are the 50th show.
Wow, I'm honored.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've put up with 50 shows with the talking forehead. 50 shows, but I've loved every minute of it.
Well, congratulations, guys. I will say that to you, to the talking forehead, and to the new guy, Big Money here. That's not no feat that a lot of people can say they can't do. 50 anything. So
Exactly. So tonight, I think we're just going to have a low-key, different type of interview. Nathan, would you like to talk anything about the 50th episode before we go on? No?
That's
Okay,
the
moving
number
on.
after 49, by the way.
he waited 49 too long to have me on.
Yeah, right.
Touche. No, just that this has been an awesome ride so far, and I look forward to like many more. And I couldn't have picked a better person to have the on as the 50th episode. So
Oh, stop. Thank you. Thank you.
So let's start with the first. Let's start with the first. We're gonna break this into segments tonight, I think. T Rex asked for this time to make an announcement. We're gonna wait till the end for him to do that. But I think the first segment is a segment we haven't had on in the first 50 episodes. So I think with T Rex being a ref for over 20 years and about to ref his 1500th match,
15,000
or 15,000th match.
I think that's how many girlfriends I've had.
Oh,
I
Lord,
think
God.
I think that this would be a good time for him to come on and talk about wrestling etiquette.
Oh, Tony, I like that. Wrestling etiquette. Okay, so as a ref, anyway, I believe that when two wrestlers, tag teams, whoever, women, men, doesn't matter, get in the ring, first thing they need to do is wipe their feet.
Yep.
It's not only a show of respect to them in there, it's a show of respect to who's been in there before you and who will be in there after you. When people like me are said and gone in this business or whatever, and to the people that came before you, and the people that will come after you, and to your opponent that's in there. My biggest thing is if you can't at least wipe your feet. I mean, ROH, they do a handshake in the ring, right? Okay, if you can't at least wipe your feet in a ring, you're not a professional to me. That's just how I feel. Whether it's I don't care if you're a referee. I don't care if you're a wrestler. I don't care if you're a manager. If you get in that ring, you need to wipe your feet. I don't care if you're the timekeeper, the announcer. It's proper, because who knows? We might have stepped on something coming to the ring. I've seen strange things like that happen. You get like something in your eye from it. Now you never know. Now you might get staph infection. Who knows? I mean, it's also important that promoters make sure that they're cleaning their rings properly too. It's not just the wrestlers. That works both ways. So that's just an etiquette thing. It's just something that I'm glad you asked about, and I appreciate that you asked that, because I could come on and do a 2-hour show just on that. Why we do that? I mean, I don't know what you fellas think. I don't know how many of you have actually been in a ring. I don't know. I know that, like, probably not Nate, probably not your co-host Nate. Maybe Big Money. He's probably been in the ring time or two, and hopefully he's wiping his feet. If not,
Oh, every
we're
time
gonna talk.
I step even in that ring, I wipe my feet.
I mean, it's just coming from a guy that's done this for 20 years, and I see it.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying that the people that don't wipe their feet are bad people. What I'm saying is somewhere along the way we've lost that in kayfabe.
Amen to that. Yep.
But I'm ready to talk about whatever you want to talk about. That was just enough on etiquette for now, because if not, I'll just keep talking about it.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic. What would you, with 20 years experience, give a person who's just starting out trying to run their own promotion? What advice would you give them?
hang in there. That first year, 2, even 3 years is really tough. I've done a couple shows in I've done a couple. I co-own a wrestling company as well. But every owner I've talked to, promoter, booker, if you can just break even your first year or two after you pay the boys, after you pay your bills, after you pay all that, you're doing something right. If you're losing money your first year, you're even okay. I say the old philosophy is don't quit. Um, I hear that Mr. Money here, no offense, is trying to start his own. So I will give you some advice on that. Um, Here's what I will tell you, and I'm just coming at this from the standpoint of what I've seen. I'm not, no one else, just what I've seen. If you have consistent product, if you can build a fan base, and if you give them what they want, your doors will stay open for 10 years or longer. But if you bankrupt, as I say, and don't do stupid things, as in like not paying your guys and doing stuff like that, you'll be out of business in 10 minutes. So I always say come with the good and the bad, because you're going to get good and bad. Um, it doesn't matter. Like I said, you can't teach that either. It's something you're just gonna have to learn on your own. Now you can watch other promoters. You can get advice from like me, because like I said, I've done everything pretty much under the sun, not just repping. I mean, like I said, I've ran my own company, wrestled a little bit here and there. Um, the one thing I really haven't done that I'm wanting to get into maybe down the road is managing. But like other than that, I've pretty much done everything under the sun. Um, the problem with it is people are going to bash you. People are going to say you're not going to last. People are going to say, F this guy, F that. Well, just stay persistent and stay you. That's what I'll tell you. Don't lose your morals. Don't lose your standards. Don't lose what you believe. Um, and if you do that, and you can physically keep your doors open, and you can make it 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the one thing I'll give Vince McMahon and the McMahon family is they started out regionally and they turned into a conglomerate. But they did that because we weren't going to give up. They could have easily gotten buried early on. Any independent company can can run 1 or 2 shows, but can you last?
Sure.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it also important to like find a group of people that you could truly trust, especially as like your inner circle?
Oh, definitely. If you ain't got the right committee, the right booking crew, the right everything like that, then yeah, you might as well not even run. I mean, it's one thing to have self-confidence in yourself. Now you have to find 4, 5, 6 other people, 10 other people, a whole crew of people. Um, and that's what makes it work. It's not always the guys in the ring, it's the people behind it, it's the people everywhere. It's the guy that's setting the ring up. It's the people that are selling the concessions. It's the people that are whatever to make everything work, right? Your marketing people, your promoter, he can only do so much. And I hear people say, well, it's all on the promoter. Well, yes and no, but we also should self-promote. If you can't self-promote a show you're on, then you don't really deserve to be in there. Any show I've ever been on, I've always self-promoted. It's just what we do. You can't expect to just throw shit on the wall and make it stick. No, no, no pun intended. But you can't. It's reality. We literally at any given point can make or break a wrestling company at any point. And a promoter can also make or break it if they're not doing it right. He can have all the help in the world, but if the promoter is not doing nothing himself or herself, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I wish you all the best when you start.
I appreciate
And
your
you can
advice.
always ask me for pointers. Tony can give you my info if you need it, and I'm willing to give you pointers whatever you need. It's hard. Don't go in too fast. Don't go in the deep end too fast. Step into the pool a little bit, get your feet wet, see how it goes. Then once you can get the life jacket, as they say, off, that's when you can start making the bigger adventures, as they say, the bigger, the bigger money, the bigger style stuff. I mean, not everybody has AEW budget, not everybody has WWE budget. As you know, I don't know how long you've been in this, but as you know, most independent companies run strictly off of like ticket sales,
Yep.
and stuff like that, getting sponsors, getting the little things where like the WWEs of the world, yeah, they have $1 billion that they can just throw out there. Oh, you want a WrestleMania ad? There you go. You want it during prime time? There you go. But we in the independent level, when we do that, we literally have to flyer. We have to use the Facebooks of the world. We have to use the Twitters of the world, all of these social medias of the world, because if not, what are you doing? And then you have to make sure you got the right people doing that, or you're gonna sink on that too. You can't just expect somebody to do that. I always tell people you can't expect to have people set rings up if you're not paying either. I mean, I look at it like this: if you want to set the ring up for free, that's on you. But I've never seen it unless, and that's where the boys always. That's why I've always heard the boys say it's not their job, but then if they really want to wrestle, it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't afford ring crew, you make your boys go out there, and if they don't want to do it, then you don't wrestle. And I'm just saying that to be tough love to people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because that's how you're going to do it. I'm just saying that's what I do. There's things that I do differently because like I've done this for over 20 years now. So long that I could talk this for another hour. Any more, guys? You got another topic you want to talk about? Go ahead.
Well, what do you think about online training schools?
Oof. Oh, well, I mean, we are coming out of COVID, so everything's been online lately. I personally can't really say because I've never really done a whole lot of that, so I don't know. But if you're doing online, the only thing I could say is it's kind of hard if you're trying to teach somebody how to take a bump online.
Yep.
Uh,
Sure.
the difference being, and the difference being is online is good to teach tools maybe to give like some how we do this business psychology and that, but like to really get to the nuts and bolts of our business, you've got to get in a ring and you have to be able to bump, you have to be able to know everything in there, right? Because especially as a ref, like the refs have so much more responsibility. I have to make sure everybody in that ring is safe, and I have to make sure that if someone's hurt, I have to know, I have to see it.
Yep.
So if you're trying to teach refs like that, even it's, man, it's tough. Wrestlers, even God, I can only imagine. Like Stu Hart did it in a basement, and I can only imagine that like the dungeon might be like, I don't know, online now. Ooh, I mean, who's trying to do that online? Like, is there a particular reason why? Can I ask?
Yes. We are just basically trying to get kids, adults, women, any disability, any gender, the taste of what it will be like when and if we get the wrestling ring up here in Pullman, Washington. So
Oh,
they
Pullman,
know
okay.
by the time we get the ring, they know what to be expecting of us, from us. Meaning they know, oh, I got to learn how to take a bump, run the ropes, do rolls and whatnot. It's something that I've been in the business 8 years, and
Okay.
my business partner and my actually a man I train or manage, excuse me, he thought it would be an awesome idea, something that not a lot of promotions really throw out there, but it's giving the taste of, okay, when we get this ring up here in Pullman, you know by now what you need, what is expected of you to run the ropes, to take a bump, and I have wrestlers that will be training um, people that want to learn the business, that want to fulfill their dream as a wrestler, as a ref, as a manager, as a commentator, you know, what have you. We are basically saying, hey, this is what it's going to be like when we open our doors. So that's why I thought it would be a cool idea, something new. And it's not only for Pullman area, it's whoever wants to learn the business, come on down or come online. We got, SoCal crazy. We got the big name indie wrestlers out today that will teach the kids or adults.
I respect that. I respect that. I've just never seen it online, so like I can't really say like how I think it'll go. But I will give you this nugget. I want I want to know, and somebody keep me in a loop on how that's going for you guys down the road, because I really think that that could be something that might work, because so many people nowadays are used to just sitting at home now, basically, because of COVID and because of everything. People were used to doing Zooms and everything else. I mean, it's a different way to teach. I just hope that eventually they'll get into a ring. You know,
Yeah.
I get that though. I like that.
It's
Well, and I think. Go
oh,
ahead. Sorry.
it's also it's teaching them like healthy eating habits, getting back in shape. So when that ring comes, you're mentally ready, you're healthy, ready, you're just, what's going on and you are ready for that experience.
So how
So,
now? How are you going to know if they're ready though? Are they going to show you that they're running, jogging, like doing push-ups, sit-ups, and all that? Or are you just going to go off of like what they tell you?
well, that's why we would have the talent teaching them, basically being the teacher, and they're the students writing the notes down what to do if they want to do it, of course.
Okay.
But if they're
Yeah.
just in it to be like, oh, this is what it's going to take, okay. And then they could go to their own promotion if they're out of Washington, if New York people are watching or whatever. And they could
Right,
be
right.
like, hey, I'm going to go to this promotion. It's right by me. I already know what I'm into. So,
And I think that would work in the sense that like some people at the beginning when they're starting something learn better like from a place that they're already comfortable. So like if you did like an online thing and they're like in their garage or at their house or whatever the case may be, that might build their confidence in themselves if they're getting ready to do that, so that when they get in front of a crowd as a wrestler, they already have that self assurance, like I can do this, right? Sometimes for some people that's hard to do when you're in a group of like 10, 15 trainees that are, maybe doing a little bit better than what you're doing.
Remember, encouragement always works, even if they're the worst. Even if they're the worst, like you got to encourage them and bring them up and let them know, hey, you can do this. Um, here's one for
Absolutely.
you. Here's one for you. I was told in this business that I wouldn't make it 6 months, and here I am, 20 plus years later. So one of
much
the last
better.
two out of my original class. There's like three of us left, I think. So, so I'm the smallest of the bunch, and still here 20 plus years later. So
Much respect.
never give up and never quit. I mean, I like John Cena's philosophy on that. Never give up. Um,
Yeah.
you know, look at Rey Mysterio, for crying out loud. Smallest guy on the smallest wrestler we've probably ever seen. Like
Yep.
that's made it to the Hall of Fame. And he never once gave up, and he's been doing it since he was like 12 years old or something. So you can never give up. I mean, I was told in this business by several people, you're never gonna make it. You're not big enough. And then one day, a guy by the name of Sandy Barr. I was initially wrestling for him, and he was like, "I don't want to ref no more." What do you mean you don't want to ref no more, sir? I'm not a ref. I'm not a referee. Well, I'm going to teach you, and the rest is history. And ever since then, I've wrestled maybe 3 times, 3 or 4 times. Um, I got the greatest referee trainer on the planet, man. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but I owe him a lot. And I'm sure Nate Noss has heard of has heard of Sandy Bar.
Yes, I have.
I don't know about Big Money Dodge here, but Google him. Google him. Old school as hell.
Hmm.
He had. I don't know if you ever went on any of his went to his shows, Nate, where he was literally running in a warehouse at one time, and there was mattresses and like microwaves and everything in this place. But he had a vision to keep it going, and he had a vision because he wanted to see younger guys like myself then succeed. And he wasn't doing it back then to make the money. He wasn't. He was like, guys, like I can give you this and some hot dogs. I mean, like literally, dude. We were like hungry, but he could get us booked other places because he knew everybody.
Right.
So it was like, you work for me, I get you booked places. So I mean, and that's how it happened with me. So never quit. That's what I'll say. Never give up. And hell, who knows? 20 years from now, we might be seeing you down the road, like running huge pay-per-views, man. And if you do, just remember me by then. I'll be old and like, I want to sit ringside and watch now. Backstage, I can give you some critique.
You get VIP service.
Oh, I better get VIP service.
Oh yeah, it's up there.
That's the penthouse, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And as far as Sandy shows, I never got the opportunity to go to one of those, but I'll tell you the reputation that guy had.
Oh
I
my
used
God.
to go to Tito's show up in Hillsboro at the flea market.
Another one of my
And
trainers. by the way.
even though Tito and Sandy, were competing, for that kind of area, there was always the talk backstage at a Tito show of, man, Sandy's shows are awesome. Like what can we do to bring our level up? So that's kind of what it was, right?
What's funny is I've worked with Tito Carry On too. God bless him. And what's funny is you mentioned that is for the longest time Sandy and Tito didn't get along. But then towards the end, like they were like, we got to work together. And then Sandy was like, you can go work for Tito now. And so I'd go work for Tito. I was still wrestling for Tito anyway. He didn't know that, but I was wrestling for Tito at the time. And then Tito was like, you repping for Sandy? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, bro. He scratched his head. He's like, oh, man, I need a ref too, but do you want to do lucha? And I'm like, I can't even speak the language, not alone count to like past like two. Most refs can't count past two anyway, but like get to 20? You want me to count to 20 outside? You crazy, I said, you crazy, old man. And he's like, no, give it a shot. Give it a shot. I said, how about this? I'll rep the American portion. You find you a lucha referee because I wanted nothing to do with that. And then his lucha ref gets hurt, so I wind up having to ref lucha anyway. And I'll tell you what, when you're going uno, dos, and you can't get past 10, and they're like looking at you and you're like 11, you stop and you're like 12. Now they're looking at you like, oh, this guy don't know. and like I literally had El Gato one time grab me, was a heck of a lucha star. He grabbed me one time and was like, amigo, we understand. Okay, I don't know how to get past 10 though, I said. So we have to work on that. And then finally I learned how to count to 20. And I'll tell you what, that's like learning a foreign language. I mean, counting 20 in Spanish is like the average person like trying to learn French. I mean, but we adapted, see, and yeah, thanks by the way. Thank you. Sorry, that was my wife, guys. She's bringing me dinner.
Oh, what's for dinner?
Thank you. I'm just doing something quick and easy. We're doing some sandwich and stuff like that.
There you go.
Some quick, easy.
Nice.
She worked hard all day, and and she deserved to. She deserved to give me whatever she wants.
Oh yeah.
Except
So
for dog food, I might have to give that to one of you fellas, if not. Oh, my wife said she ain't got no dog food. Okay.
Oh,
Cat food. Cat food works. They'll take that.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch my girlish figure. Sorry.
Oh,
Can't.
you gotta watch
I'll
your
pass.
girly figure. So do I, man. I mean, like, I'm not a small man myself, so
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know
well
if you
fed.
watch any of our older podcasts with big money on it. He always says something out loud, ends up sleeping on the couch anyway.
but let's talk about your promotion that you're with now. Let's talk about Combat Pro Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
There's an event this weekend, and then your big event is in June.
That is correct. I mean, all of our events are big, but yes,
Well,
that is correct. I mean, but that's the, I guess, WrestleMania, if you will, for Combat Pro Wrestling. Yes.
mhm. And is that where you're going to hit your epic landslide referee matches? Is at Strawberry Fest?
If I plan it out right, hopefully, yes. I mean, it could happen a little sooner. Who knows? But either way, if I get to 15,000 as a ref, because see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Sandy Barr. I was his only ref for the longest time, for like 5 years. I didn't barely even know how to like ref, and I literally couldn't even like at that point in time my shoes as a ref, as they say. And he was throwing me out there, and they're like, "You gotta do the main event, huh? What? Like what?"
Have fun.
I'm like, Sandy, did you hit your head back there, like on the like shelf or something? This is like you're asking. At the
It's like
time, I'm
sink
not,
or swim, buddy.
now, mind you, at the time I'm 20 years old, so I'm 20 years old, and I've already like done this like 2 or 3 years at this point, but I've never repped at that level. And I'm like, you want me to what? Oh, I need you to main event tonight. Okay, okay. And if something happens, well, we'll just fix that. And if they give you a hard time, you send them back here to me, and I'll beat the shit out of them. Is what he used to say. Like literally, like if they give you a hard time, send them back and talk to me. I'll beat the shit out of them. And that's literally what he used to tell them. And if you have a problem with my only ref and you run him off, I'll kill you. Is what he used to say. Not even joking. Sandy to me is like he was like a dad. I'd known him since I was 14 because I started setting up chairs at the old Vancouver Bagley Center when I was about 14 years old. So I met Sandy then. So Sandy was like a dad to me. So when he died, like, and his kids kept it alive for a little bit, if you will, but like they just didn't want it, and it was really sad to see. And that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, I'm hoping to hit 15,000 like at Fest if everything goes right. And if not, I'll hang around to get it long enough to get it. There's a little bit of a tease right there I just gave you.
Yes, at the end of the show, T Rex has asked for time to make a announcement, so we will honor that at the end of the show and let him make the announcement.
Is he going to pull a Tony Khan? He's going to make an announcement to make an announcement?
No, I'm not doing no to make an announcement. But that's hilarious, by the way. I gotta say that. Maybe I should do that now. Maybe I should go in there real quick, see if I can find a shirt with a tie.
I'm sorry, I ruined it.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. That's why I said. That's why I asked before I came on. Is it okay to eat and drink? Like, is it okay? I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, we had him on the air and he was eating and drinking and he was a complete asshole. And no.
Well, and to be completely honest, we don't know if JB was on something or sober during the interview the other night anyway. So,
well, I'm not on nothing, but you know, I mean, I'm drinking this, but
oh, hey, well, no, I mean,
which is a good product, by the way. I won't mention it on the air because I really don't like the guy, but it's a good product.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, Nathan, why don't you shoot some questions at him? But be
Yeah,
nice.
please.
Don't really shoot. Just ask.
But just remember, he is a legend and he is your friend. And unlike the rest of our guests, he does know where you live.
I do.
Just remember, he knows how to count to 2, but not. He's almost at 3.
Hey, we used to be friends. Come on, man.
Oh, sorry.
Hey. We broke the ice. Now let's not completely make me have to throw you through the lake.
You're right. I
Let's
told
not
myself
make me.
I'll be nice.
Let's not make me throw you through the lake now. Come on.
Ouch.
Do you really
can't-
want to
hey.
throw him through the lake in the town that we live? I don't think anybody would.
Oh God, no! That's why that's how this happened.
So you brought up CPW. Can you tell us what sets them apart from any other, any other promotion?
I think it's because they treat their wrestlers like family and not the other way around. Like they treat us like actual family, and like, you know, I've been in a lot of companies, but I've only been in a couple that really treat you like family. From the time you walk in till the time you leave, they don't let your brother, your sister, your whatever. Yvonne is really good at, and I am Team Yvonne, by the way. So If she's there, hi Yvonne, I'll see you tomorrow. But her whole staff, whether it's Jeff, whether it's her, whether it's her other owner, whether it's the ring crew, whoever, they treat you like family because, well, in her eyes, she says you're family. And I've only seen that like in my whole life, maybe 3 other promotions. Sandy was one. There was a couple others. But to me, I would rather go work for somebody that calls you family than just like a number or like oh, you're just here as a ref. Well, yeah, but without me,
Yeah.
you don't get to do nothing unless you want to count it yourself, asshole.
True.
I mean, and if that's the case, then if that's the case, and your host, he can ref it because he's got good hands like me.
That's
He can
true.
ref it if all else fails. I mean, so and to get off that topic a little bit, the last time I was on, I went a little overboard for you, Nate, and I'm sorry. I
No, you're
apologize.
good.
I apologize. That was all just
No.
to teach you that every dog's had his day, and well, you've had yours already. So. Mhm.
Now, every dog might have his day, but I got more to come. So
Well, I hope to see that. Like I said, I don't want to have to take you in a wheelchair and push you off of a cliff yet. So
it's all right. I'll bounce.
yeah, I bet you would. But that's a whole nother topic. But for real, I honestly, I feel honored that I am the 50th. By the way, congratulations to you, Tony, and Big Money here on that. Let's see if you guys can get to 100, then 150. Because if you get to 100 and 150, make sure I'm always on the 50s, the 100, the 150, and the 200s, and we'll be okay. I can promise you that.
Write that down, Nate.
Smile,
Write
dude.
that down.
Because I know where 2 of you 3 gentlemen live in this town.
Ooh, I'm safe. I'm safe. Security. Watch the door.
Lock the door. You might want to tell the people where you live at there, but lock the door. There's a big bald guy in a blue shirt coming for me if not. And he drives a
Honey,
big...
that's not the mailman.
No, that's
I
not
didn't
the
order
mailman.
anything from Amazon.
Open the door. Whack.
Who's
I've
this
already
big...
got hit with a chair once.
Yeah,
I
who's the
can do
big
it
guy with
again?
Who's the big guy with the bald head? Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm here to clean him up. Bang! Hit him with a bedpan and leave. No, it's all love. It's all love. And like I said, I want to congratulate you guys on 50. Let's get you to 100, 200, 500, and 1,000.
Amen to that.
Yep.
But if you guys can put up with each other that long, because it's really tough. If you watch any podcast like Today's Show, anything like that, it's tough to get that many episodes under your belt. And I've watched a few of you guys grow doing this. I'm not going to mention no names, but there is a guy that's sitting, looks like on his couch in a black shirt there with glasses, that's grown a lot doing this. You guys really need to give your producer here some love, because
Always do.
Tony's the glue. And then you got, well, the drunken head. And then you got Money Dodge. You got the drunken head sitting here with the looks like a bedpan by his left hand over there. I don't know if that's what that is or not, but it looks like a bedpan. Not gonna lie. But no, congrats, guys. And thank you for letting me be your 50th guest. I don't know if you get thanked like that a lot. But I got more. Let's keep going. Come on, we got some more. I got another half hour at least. Let's go.
So, what was one of like those matches that you refereed that you kind of had to take a step back and go, "Oh my God, am I really doing this?" Like,
Well, I have her before she got really famous, and I'm sure you've heard of her, Becky Lynch.
Ooh.
I got the ref her as Rebecca Knox.
Oh wow.
One of the times I didn't really get taken back with her because she was so young then, and I'd already been in a while. But I remember there was a time though where I would just I would get to the point where I would thank the wrestlers for letting me ref, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm supposed to be here. So I got taken back a lot, if that's what you're asking me, early on in my career, and I had to make adjustments and learn that, like, okay, I'm here for a reason. Now for me to get taken back, whew. But I've had it happen. Oh, there's been a couple times too where like I've had those embarrassing moments. Everybody's had, like, you've had your butt in a camera, or if that's what you're asking. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking though.
No, what I was asking is like, if you ref somebody and you were like, okay, almost like starstruck a little bit, like I can't believe I'm refing a match with this person, or
Oh yeah, that's happened actually. It was Sandy Barr. It's happened to me a couple times. Sandy. Let's see who else. I've gotten to work with the Nasty Boys. That was kind of cool.
Wow.
Knobs and Sags. You get taken back and stuff like that a little bit, and you go, wow, like I just repped like what are two probably Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then you look at yourself and you go, and I was only 24. I was only 25. And these dudes have been doing this as long as I was alive at that point. So
That's
why am I?
crazy.
And you get the dubious honor, and you're like, whoa. And then you don't want to mess nothing up because these guys are legends. And you're like, guess who they're gonna come after if you mess it up. I mean, this is why you see, and this is the other thing, like as a ref that I will say is, I think refs we get taken back more than wrestlers, I think, most of the time because we don't want to screw shit up.
Yeah.
And pressure on a referee is rough. Like, I mean, fellas, I have no hair on my head because it would be gray. Like, I mean, I've reffed so many matches, like I could literally fall asleep and like be like, did I just ref that? Like in my head, I've had this happen to me before. Like, I'll ref a match in my head when I'm asleep, and I'm like, wake up, like, whoa, did you just seriously ref Stone Cold? No, but in my dream I did. You know what I mean?
so does
Right.
that mean you count to 3 in your sleep too? Like,
I'm not so sure. I mean, my eyelids are closed most of the time when I'm sleeping, but I can actually get to 3, unlike Nate. But I mean, Nate can't get to 3. But
well, we already
my wife says, she said I can only get to 2. So
So Nathan was supposed to ask, but he's not going to. So I've got to ask. When we had JB on the show, he said that you and him had some heat on one of his matches to where you actually used your foot to count to 3.
I did. I do a lot. That's a Sandy Bar special. And I believe he didn't know that, and something happened. Like, I can't exactly remember what happened. That was a long time ago too. My God, wow, he remembered that.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
I know
he
he drinks a lot of moonshine, so I know like that's.
He actually remembered that one.
It's probably why I'm not his top favorite rep, but
Although
that's okay.
he had the best answer to one of our questions. If you guys don't mind me saying that again, we always ask what your favorite snack was, as far as, and so we asked that to JB, and honestly, I thought he was gonna say moonshine, right? Because that would have been the standard, His exact words to us were, "I don't know. It depends on what substance I'm on right now at the moment."
Ouch.
And Tony and I both looked at each other and went, "Well, never heard that one before."
That sounds. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've never heard that either, and I've been doing this a long time. I probably need to. Well, let's see. Who's the youngest on this panel? Probably besides me. Probably me, actually.
I don't know. I might be pretty
41.
close.
41?
40.
Oh, we're all about the same age then, except for except for Nate. Like, he's 265, but
Ooh.
Sometimes I feel that way. Yeah.
you look that way. Like, if I had
Well,
to,
thank you.
I'm
I
having,
like this.
I'm having to look at
referee.
man boob for the last 39 minutes. I mean, come on, man. I'm
Hey,
having to look
when
at
you gotta be, you gotta flaunt them, right?
Well, I
at least.
mean,
Come on, man. I've had to put.
the show, dudes. I mean, you should have put some clothes on.
Jesus, man. You show up to an
It's
interview
a
with no clothes
family
on?
show.
Wait. Yeah, this is PG rated, right? Because if not, like, I got to get off here because, man, like, I don't have Big Money's got some money. I think you might need to throw it to that guy because those man nipples are looking like old salami, man. I'm not gonna lie, that looks like old salami. I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
mean or nothing, but that's all I
Well,
can.
now you just gave away what my second career is gonna be. Thank you.
Oh man, and hey, there's a legend in this area that just passed away doing that, by the way, named Darcel. So, I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do, bro,
Good
go
luck.
for it.
And I believe one of T Rex's students is actually, well, I guess he's a student to the referee game from him, but Mr.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Mr. Michelle Munger. Oh, I mean Mikey Munger is in the chat.
Oh Christ! Did
No, the last time I
he
checked,
didn't die
Mike
today?
wasn't Christ.
No,
Was
he's
he-
definitely not Christ, but he didn't die today.
Was
I had
he
that guy
supposed
out
to
in the,
die?
I had that guy out in the heat today. He didn't die yet.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Oh Lord, surprised he didn't just turn into
I'm
like one of
surprised he
these
didn't
kids
shrivel
from
up.
If he seriously is on there, have him ask you a question to ask me, because I know I'm his biggest fan. Just like my only fan that I have behind me that's not on right now, but you know the fan.
Okay, Mikey, if you're still online, ask T Rex a question. We know you're dying to ask him something.
Literally.
But remember, he definitely knows where you live.
Yeah, so ask nicely.
I'll
should have a
start
question.
digging a hole.
You'll start digging a hole.
I'll start digging his hole.
No, you better.
You won't need a very big one, because even maggots will eat him real quick.
He's not
So,
wrong. He's not a very
I
big
guess,
guy.
I guess Nathan, we can ask a couple of questions. We're almost an
Go
hour.
ahead.
So
Go ahead. And
so-
see, I just blabber. I could give you a whole nother hour.
exactly. So I guess, what is your favorite snack or cookie?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
snack
Here
or
we
cookie?
go.
Snack or cookie? Let's think about that. There's some good ones out there too. I'm not really a cookie guy though, so tell you
Well,
what.
it
I'll
doesn't
tell you
have to
what.
be a cookie. It could be a snack.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, and I just had these recently, and they were really good. My wife made them. These cinnamon rolls that you get, like these Grands one. They're like
Oh,
pre-made
yeah.
that you stick in the oven.
Mhm.
I think that might be it for me, actually. They're fantastic, and I'm not promoting Grands or nothing, and I'm not promoting the Pillsbury Doughboy. Well, okay, I am promoting the Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm looking at him. His name's Nate, but hey,
I can't sound like the Pillsbury Doughboy. I just need somebody to poke me in the
oh,
stomach.
I guess Mr. Munger doesn't have a question. Okay, moving on now. He doesn't get
No,
the answer.
actually, he does.
Actually, he does. He goes, "What was your favorite match to?" I'm assuming to referee. He didn't
Anyone
finish-
anyone he wasn't in. No. In all seriousness, favorite match I had to ref. That's a lot. Now he's making my brain work. Okay, and that's not a
I
good
think
thing.
that's called karma.
Favorite match. Actually, you know what? I am gonna say it was in Pendleton, Oregon, the Nasty Boys, and I think it was Grappler and whoever he was with. I can't remember who he was with. I'm drawing a blank there, but it was the Nasties were involved in it. We did a 3-day thing in Pendleton, like Grants Pass and that, so I really got to learn a lot. And I remember that I think I even saved that match somehow. I don't remember how, but I remember doing something to the extent of either Sags or no, it was Brian Knobs going, "That's away, brother. Thank you." And I'm like, okay, thank you too. The other one I've always had a pleasure of reffing guys like Sandy Barr. Like I said, when I got to ref Sandy, it was just like I got to ref my trainer, like my ultimate, like that's my bucket list. That was one of the things I wanted to do before I passed, and I got to do it because, well, he really didn't have a ref then, and he had this 20-year-old kid that, 21-year-old kid at the time, 21-year-old kid that was just on fire, and he was wanting to learn, and I was like happy to even help move mattresses so we could have a show back then. And he saw it, and he was like, "You're reffing me tonight," and I literally about shit my pants. I'm not even lying to you, like literally almost shit my pants. And I was like, "Are you sure, sir?" He's like, "Well, you're the only one I got, so you're doing it." Okay. I mean, not because it was probably by choice, but because I had to.
So I'm gonna put your Booker hat to the test on a question.
Go for it.
If you could book one entire card from using any wrestler from any generation, what would it be?
You want me to start from like the bottom up or the main event down?
Either way.
Man, this has always been like a dream for me too. Like I'm glad you asked that because now I've see I got shit that runs through my head like this all the time, and I'll be driving and I'm like Ric Flair. No, I mean just shit like that. Uh, honestly, if I could book it, I would love to do it again. I'd love to see it one last time. Harley Race and Ric Flair,
Ooh.
old school NWA title, circa like 1980s. I would book that tomorrow if we could, but unfortunately Harley's not here and well, Rick. But if it's just Dream Alone, and then probably I'd say Roddy Piper, guys like that, Buddy Rose. See, I'm more independent based, more than like these newer guys. Like I'm not really a big fan of much of these newer guys, just because most of these newer guys can't sell freaking asses in the seats. I mean, if you can't seriously, like if you can't put an ass in the seat, then why do I need to invest money in you?
Yep.
But guys like Roddy Piper could, and guys like Ric Flair can, and guys, I know a lot of you guys are like the newer stuff, and that's cool. But I'm a fan of the old school 80s style. Like I would love to see it. I would also love to see like, man, something like, I'm an old school fan. Jake the Snake Roberts, guys like that. I book. I mean, Jake the Snake Roberts, very intelligent guy. He was a hell of a psychology major in our business, as they say. He could captivate you with a snake, and you were just like, whoa, dude! Like this dude's for real, like like serious. Some of the newer guys I would probably use. I would say somebody like a Brian Danielson. I would love to like book him against anybody, especially Nate Noss. He could hit you. He could like get you with the man. He could like get you with a mandible claw or something.
Hardcore match, right? Hardcore
Yeah,
match.
hardcore match with Nate, like outside with his bedpan.
Oh, come on. I've already agreed to be hit by a kendo stick by you,
I'll
Vaughn.
book
Isn't
that.
that enough?
No, because I owe you. Because last time you said I couldn't use my hands. Well, I just use Adidas sandwich. See that?
Hey, every squirrel gets in that every once in a while.
Well, looking at you, it looks like you haven't shaved or had a haircut in about 6 months. But I mean, besides that, see, I can blow smoke up my ass too. But I mean, it burns. So.
And Nathan, you did say that you were going to come on and be nice to this man tonight.
Yeah,
I am.
that's why I took it. And I've been nice. I'm playing well. I'm even playing well with the new guy. That's kind of weird because he hates reps.
I'm being nice.
It is true. He does.
I told the two guys up there that I will play nice with the referee.
Well, you don't have a choice, boss, because I can wrestle and I'll stomp a mud hole in you.
And to be honest, he's actually. And to be honest, I don't know why he's got that money. He came on as Steve today and not Big Money. So, I mean, he can't even keep his persona right.
What do you think he is, $1 Million Man or something? I mean, he's waving $100 bills around. Are they even real?
Oh, my God.
Or is that some Monopoly money, bro?
Oh, my
God.
Is that Canadian or Japanese?
Oh.
This is why I hate refs at the same time.
I had to. You're sitting here waving it like it's a goddamn fan, man. I mean, I had to. I'm just waiting for the $1 Million Man belt to come out. Oh, wait. Hold on. We got IRS. That's Tony.
Hold on.
Tony's IRS, and well, Nate's Virgil.
Exactly.
I got something better.
Oh, look at that. That is cool looking. If I had mine with me, I'd show you mine. I got a cool ass belt too, but that doesn't mean I'm famous or nothing. That doesn't mean I actually run it.
I know.
I actually I can win a championship too, man. Come on. I like it though. What is it? What is that? The money belt? What's it called?
Yeah, that's a Big Money Championship.
Big Money Championship.
Yes, sir.
Well, then if it's big money, if it's Big Money Championship, then I see three faces of like Foley here. We got like the one that's on his couch. We got the one that like looks like Mankind, and well, then you got you. So does that make you Dude Love? Yeah. I'll tell you what, I like you, man. You're cool. You can pick on me all you want, but I'll give it back.
I'm not gonna throw a comment. I'm not gonna throw a question. I'm just gonna throw a comment. Do you know that in August, Mark's going to own a picture of not only you, Nathan, in a dress, but he's also going to have a picture of the our fan that's in the chat now in a dress also.
I already have them.
Courtesy of me, your wall.
Oh yeah. Oh, you.
Yes,
And by the way, thank you. Hey, is are you going to make Nate wear a hat in this thing, or is he? What's he doing? Is he just wearing a dress? Because I know he can't pick WrestleMania picks to save his life, obviously. Because
Well, obviously he can't. Well, initially it was just the dress, but then Big Money got in on it, and now he has to find a wall in the dress. He's got to approach a woman and get her number.
Oh my Lord! You're gonna make Nate
and bring it back and bring it back and show Dodge that he did it.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have to do that with Mikey, my ref too. We're gonna dress them both up. You're gonna. This is in Seattle, right? You're doing this right at a Mariners game or something?
Yep.
Oh my God! You got to get them both up there at the same time on the street corner, like on King Street or somewhere up there, standing like going, "We're looking for a date tonight. We're looking for a date tonight." And then maybe they can even make out a little bit, and they might get lucky.
No,
like those two, you put those two in the same room, dude, and bad shit happens. I'm telling you, I've seen them both in the same room.
Oh man!
I will call off the bet. I will not make out with. No.
Oh, I'm sending Mikey your way, man.
No.
Mikey's a great date for you, man. I mean, he's unshaven and well, I mean, he looks like he hasn't bathed in 6 months either. So,
I mean, I don't want to look. I don't want to fall into a black hole that would be his mouth.
That's more like what he probably smells like. But that's a different story for a different day. Anyway, keep coming. I got some time.
I was gonna eat
my phone's got some charge left. I'll keep going all night if you want me. What you guys got before we wrap this thing up? Because I know we're getting like what 50-something minutes now.
Something like that.
You guys as pacemakers are doing good.
Let's do your Mount Rushmore referees.
Oh yes, finally a question that matters. Mount Rushmore referees. Top of the list for me, Sandy Barr. I'm not going to include myself on this because that's just wrong. This is my personal. Sandy Barr. James Beard. Earl Hebner. Nick
Wow.
Nice. And to answer your question, Mikey, no, you do not get a say in this because you're not on the show.
He's never going to be. Hopefully, he's never on your show because God, he's got a face for radio.
And I think even the radio would crack.
I agree with you on that one, brother. Amen to that.
Wow, you guys agreed with each other.
I agree with him every now and then, once every 2 decades. That's the first time I've agreed with a man in 20 years. I've known the guy forever. Actually, I got a story about Nate. You know how I met Nate? I'll tell you how I met Nate. He used to come Nate used to come to PMPW all the time. Way back in the day, him, Michael, and his dad. Mikey's dad, Michael, Senior.
Yep.
Used to come. I remember because I was actually wrestling then, if you remember, right? I was wrestling then, not reffing. And Nate is one of those guys that I'll never forget. Nate literally said to me something about that, and I literally looked at him and said, "Dude, do you want me to slap the false teeth out of your mouth, or do you want me to push you out of your wheelchair onto the floor?" And like it lit the whole section up. And Nate afterwards came up and shook my hand and said, "That's what I needed tonight. Thank you." I'm not even lying. Nate said that. I said that to Nate, and he said that to me. But he gave it to me the rest of the night. He even next show after that brought a prop. If I remember, I don't remember what it was, but he brought a prop. And he literally told me that like this prop would get over more than me, and I proved him wrong because I went up to the bar. Then this is when I drank really heavy. I went up to the bar and I said, "Well, I'll use it to wipe your ass with after." Do you remember that?
I do. Remember? I think it was a plunger.
It was a plunger. I think you brought. Now that I think about it, and I said I'd plunge you all the way back to the hellhole you came from. But like for real, like Nate, the one thing I'll say about you, and I'll leave you with this. Nate, you have a lot of passion, and you're great at what you do. You have a spot in this. You have a spot in this business. I mean, unfortunately, you'll probably never be able to get in a ring like some of us, but you doing this is living your dream. I know that.
Yep.
And that's why I told Tony I wanted to come on. It wasn't even for Tony, and it wasn't even for big money. It was for you, bud.
Awesome. Thank you. I
and
appreciate that.
and I've built a relationship with Tony the last few years that I've known him, but I've known you a long time, and
Yep.
I've always shot straight with you. And I will tell you that I will anytime you need a guest, all you got to do is ask. I will be on your show anytime you need a guest, and you can ask me for advice on anything. And to get back to one last thing about promotions, because I remember you guys talking about promotions. This guy right here you have, Nate, will promote anything. Use that to your advantage, Money Dodge. Use that to your advantage. That
Yes,
guy would literally promote chicken salad in the street if you gave it to him. I'm not even lying. You could put
Done that before.
you could put Mikey in a dress and say he's going to wrestle Sasquatch, and he'd be like, "Oh, we got to promote that. We got to promote that." But hey, that's Nate's quality. And as for Mr. Producer here, Mr. Tony, you guys have a guest anytime you need. I felt blessed tonight. You guys didn't try to bury nobody. You guys aren't like your average podcast where they are a bunch of talking heads. No offense to Nate, he is a talking head, but
Hey, I'm
Forehead.
thinking about getting a T-shirt made legitimately. So I mean, of like a forehead with arrows pointing down. So
but you guys are not smart marks. I want you to know that. I feel like I feel like we got to have a good relationship the last hour. We got to get some stories.
Yep.
If you guys want one last thing before we go, or whatever, let me know. We can talk some more. I don't know where we're at, but we gotta be getting close to that mark for you guys. I don't know.
We're good.
Okay. Any more questions? I'll answer a few more if you guys got them.
Go ahead, Nate. Fire something at him.
Don't really fire it though.
Yeah, don't fire too hard. Bullets hurt.
Yeah, they do.
So who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good one.
I gotta say, most of them are probably gonna be from the Portland wrestling area. But guys like Hulk Hogan, I mean, he innovated the business to a different level. People can say what they want that he only knew 3 moves, but he knew how to use those moves well. Slamming Andre the Giant is what made national wrestling the way it is. So always say Hulk Hogan. Roddy Piper. Now if we're doing Mount Rushmores and somebody don't have Roddy Piper on their Mount Rushmore, lay off the drugs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Everybody talks about how CM Punk drops pipe bombs. They must have never seen Roddy Piper in his day, man. Because Roddy Piper is my all-time favorite. I used to mimic him as a kid, and the thing I'll give him is he was one of the smaller guys that made it. Because Roddy wasn't an overly huge guy, but he had charisma, and he had that it factor. I haven't seen it since, to be honest. And I mean, we've seen some guys that are close to that. We've seen some guys that can drop some pipe bombs and stuff, and you have those guys. But in my opinion, Roddy Piper is the greatest when it comes to promoting himself, promoting the product, and being able to captivate you in less than 30 seconds. That's just my opinion. I mean, he could captivate you. He painted half his face black, for crying out loud, and walked out amongst a bunch of people.
One of my favorite promos he did.
Yeah. So, any more?
Well, Nate, go ahead. Let's do your favorite female wrestlers of all time.
Favorite female wrestlers. Charlotte Flair. Of course, Moolah and Young. Moolah and Mae Young. You can't go wrong with them. They were the innovators, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, females is that's a different topic, because are we going all-time favorites like my favorites, or are we going like what conventional wisdom says, Hall of Famers?
Everybody answers the question differently, so you can answer it the way that you feel you want to answer it.
Okay, because we've overlooked one, and she's wrestling tomorrow on the Night of Champions, and that's the legendary Trish Stratus.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Trish is one of the biggest draws in wrestling history, not just but wrestling history. And she's for the first time, I believe, going to Saudi Arabia to wrestle somebody who, in my opinion, that I've gotten a ref, and like I said, Rebecca Knox before she became Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch too. My God, the talent that lady has to go out there and captivate you in some of like Seth Rollins' outfits that she has. My God, like you have to be. You have to know that, like, I mean, for real. And wait, I'm gonna add Seth Rollins to that list for the males because, my God, that guy comes out making like drapes look great. I mean, he looked like he wore my drapes the other night, and I'm like, damn, Seth, really? You're making that look good, bro.
That's what Nathan
I mean,
said too.
that's the only guy that can come out with like that's the only guy that come out and make drapes look good, man. Like, whoa, like I mean, Piper in his kilt, but like Seth in his drapes. I mean,
yeah, literally, like one of his outfits, is literally the pattern of the Frontier drapes. Like literally, I could look over there and be like,
that's bad. That's bad. Like, no, for real. Like behind me in my drapes.
Really
I think Seth Rollins would make those drapes look great. Like for real. He's the only guy that can pull it off. But again, that's a once in a generation guy. We may never see him again. And I'll leave you with this. Predictions for Night of Champions. Here's what I'll do. Seth Rollins wins tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who's all on that card. We'll see how close I am. What's that?
Becky and Trish.
Becky and Trish.
That's my toss up. Gosh, dang it! But if I had to put a gun to my head, they're probably gonna put Becky over. As much as I'd love to see Trish, I am on record saying that Trish Stratus would win, though. That's on record.
Roman Solo versus Sammy KO.
Ooh. Here's what we're forgetting, folks.
Uh-oh.
Here's what we're forgetting about that. They have a couple wild cards if they need them. One's Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
You know, Paul Heyman's gonna do everything he can to get those belts back into the bloodline.
No.
The other thing we're forgetting, where's Jimmy and Jay stand?
Yeah. Yep.
My gut says Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but the promoter and Booker and me sees what might happen. And I really think Roman Reigns and Solo are winning because Solo needs that push again. Solo is about to leave that group, I believe, and go on his own. And what better way to do it than to win with his cousin, who he's in with, and now he's got Jimmy and Jay. See, conventional wisdom says that. But then you have Sami Zayn, who's Arab descent. People forget that. He is Arab descent.
And it's his first time in Saudi Arabia because of the Syrian descent.
And the one thing you can never count out Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens for that matter. But hindsight being 2020, and I haven't hit my head or smoked crack today. Most likely, I mean,
congratulations, by the way.
Yeah. Bloodline probably is winning. I mean,
okay.
Just because, I mean, think about it like this: Roman's what SummerSlam's probably going to be his next big like solo match, right?
Yeah,
probably. Well, how they got to set something up because Jimmy and Jay are just out there wandering like a bunch of wanderers and a bunch of like vagrants. I mean, just looking like they're getting kicked out of everything. So, do they cost Roman and Solo the chance, and Kevin and Sami Zayn, or do they become a cohesive unit and Roman Reigns and Solo win the belts? Any more?
Point.
I got more predictions if you want, but you fire them at me. Oh, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes will win too. The one-arm man in an ass-kicking contest is going to win.
It better be a good one, though.
So what about Asuka and Bianca Belair?
Ooh.
Did you hit your head today again? Did you say Asuka? Did you say Asuka and Bianca Belair?
Yes.
Bianca Belair. No chance Asuka wins tomorrow. They got bigger things coming, I think, for her. What else?
Okay, this is gonna be an easy one. Rhea Ripley or Natalya?
Rhea Ripley.
I heard an echo.
That was my wife. She said Rhea Ripley. So I guess because my wife is pretty good at this, and she predicted that probably the only person on the planet that said that Roman would win a while back at the thing, and he did at WrestleMania. So I'm gonna say because she said that, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you're right. I think she's the only person on the planet that chose Roman
And
Reigns.
my wife don't hit her head like me daily. So well, think about it. I have to put up with Mikey daily, so I hit my head a lot.
that makes sense.
That's true. I mean, I don't see how you can do it putting up with Mikey so much. You know, I mean,
Well, I
You
can't.
should
I can't
get like
pick up.
combat or hazard pay just
I
for
mean,
that alone.
I put up with Nathan for 50 shows.
Oh
I
Christ!
don't know why. I don't know why you still put up with Mikey.
Well,
I tried to get rid of Mikey, and he comes back. He's like a lost little puppy dog.
you know why he comes back, man? Because he still has to be flea dipped, and he needs to be bathed yet. I mean, just like Nate, sometimes we got to flea dip him and bring him back a little bit. But you know what? I love the guy. And I've known him. How old are you now? 41, you said?
40.
Yeah,
40.
Nate's 40.
What's the birthday?
He'll be
June
41 in
14th.
he'll be 41 in June.
So will I. What day?
The 14th.
Oh, I'm older. Yes. You got to respect me. I'm your elder, mother. I'm your elder. You got to respect me. I'm 12 days older. You got to respect me.
Yes, but do they raise flags on your birthday? I think not.
I don't get no flag raise. I don't need a flag raise on my birthday. You know why I don't
They
need a
give
flag
him
raise?
chops.
No, they keep the cups and stuff away from Nate. I mean, look at the guy.
Oh,
Christ.
yeah.
We're talking about Nate. I love him, but like, can he even hold a cup?
Yes, I can hold a cup.
Okay. I was just checking. You're not Mikey then. Good. Mikey can't hold a cup. So
Well,
is he
there's a
still
lot
on?
of things that
Is that kid still on the show, by the way? Is he actually still watching me ramble?
I think Mikey's
think
still.
so,
I
yeah.
think Mikey's still on the show.
He doesn't need a resuscitator yet? Okay,
I
good.
mean, we'll find out. We'll find out when I do my closing if he's on the show because
Okay, well, let's wrap it up, guys, because I see we're well over an hour, and I've just been rambling now. So we can wrap it
I'm
up whenever you want.
and
Oh,
did
Yeah.
did
Any
you want to
final-
give your announcement?
Oh,
yeah. Take it away. What's your announcement?
all right. So here's the announcement. Nate, I know you're not going to have dry eyes after I say this, my friend. June 17th, Strawberry Fest. The black and white's going away.
Oh,
I'm hanging them up, buddy.
oh,
20 plus years. It's time. I'm still going to help out around, do some stuff for like some companies, like Combat Pro, stuff like that, and some other companies. But for the most part, yep, it's coming to an end. You heard that here first. You don't have to you don't have to hear it third hand. You don't have to hear it from Mikey because he can't read anyway. But you heard it from me. And now I'm going to leave you with this for one last time and one time only. Can I push you off the cliff yet?
you could try, but again, I would just bounce. It'd be like skipping a rock across the pond.
Okay,
I'll
so
pay to see that.
Wow.
so fellas, it was fun. It was a pleasure. I'll always be a guest, hopefully.
Always.
Yes, always.
Thank you
And,
for all the years you've been in this business. Much
I
love.
appreciate it.
and respect.
And on the real, to you, my friend, I'll say this. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. It means a lot coming
If
from
you ever need any advice, if you ever need even somebody that can teach you a little bit, Tony's got your stuff, whatever, or a friend request me, and I'll help you out as much as I can because I like you. And my goal now is that's why I'm closing. I want to start teaching some people. I want to give back what was given to me.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you said that because I have one more thing to say to you, and this is the God's honest truth. Thank you so much for helping me create my persona, right? Like, there's only a few people that I can be saying the stuff that I say to you, and they just take it. So, thank you for giving me that opportunity to build that, like, heel side that I honestly didn't know I had.
Well, I told you a long time ago when a couple years ago, matter of fact, you said to me, I have this vision. Matter of fact, I think we were talking about this at a Wendy's or something like that.
Yep.
Where's my
Something like
frosty? Sorry.
Go ahead. What?
He wants a frosty, but he lives
Inside
with
joke. Inside joke.
Oh, well, I remember you saying to me that you wanted to live your dream. Now, let me ask you this before I go. Are you living your dream?
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, then, my friend, you're welcome.
Thank
So-
you.
Now, just remember this. Just remember this. Always remember where you start and always remember where it's going to end.
exactly.
Yep.
And as long as we do that, we're going to be fine in this life in general, but in the business of pro wrestling, because in pro wrestling business, there's no other business like it. I'm tearing up as we speak because this is kind of touching me that I just made the announcement officially on someone's podcast and not just like in Mikey's freaking like head. Like guys,
Well,
I thank
coming
you
from
guys. Listen to me.
coming
Hold on 1 second, fellas.
coming from a worker, a manager.
Oh Christ, I'm not a worker. No.
No, coming from somebody that's in the business for 8 years, I want to thank you for everything you do for the business that I cherish and love myself.
All right, so carry that advice that I just gave you guys on then.
Yep.
If I can leave you with, since you're the one in the business, I'll leave you with one nugget before I go.
Please.
Remember where you started. Remember where you're going. And when you're not having fun no more, it's time to go home. It's not because I'm not having fun no more that I'm going home, guys. Mine's a whole different reason. I planned it this way. Because a lot of guys don't.
Yep.
A lot of guys have to end it because they break their necks or their backs or their knees or like literally broken. I'm not a young guy. I've done this since I was 17. I'll be 41 in like a week and a half. That's a long time on the body.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm going to leave all of you gentlemen with one piece of advice. Tony, here's what I'm going to leave you. This is your calling, brother. This is your calling. I've seen you through like softball tournaments and stuff like that. That's how I met you.
Mm-hmm.
But this right here, no joke, is your calling. And Shooter's Edge has a spot for you anytime that we have a show. Matter of fact, any of you gentlemen, if you want to come, you're more than welcome to come. If you want to do a podcast from my show when we do it, you're more than welcome to.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
to
you.
Mr. Money here,
Yes, sir.
might even like to down the road incorporate this guy as a manager, man. I like your style. I'm not going to lie. I normally don't like managers because I kick a lot of them out and they like make fun of my bald head. So,
Well,
but you got a bald head too, so you can't say that joke.
No.
So I'll leave you with that, guys. And thanks again. I appreciate it being your 50th to 50 more.
Yep.
And make sure that I'm guest number 100, Nate, or I'm going to show up.
Yeah, Nate.
so
Write
so
that
before
down
you
if
go
you
and
can.
before Munger goes, let me do my
Okay, go ahead.
let me do my little spiel. Nathan, you're off the hook tonight, actually. On behalf of From the Chair with Big Money Exchange and our guest, T Rex, we want to thank you for coming on and enjoying this 50th episode with us tonight. And there's a person in the chat who I hear needs this more than Nathan. So please, Mikey, have Heather have Heather get that bath ready, put that flea dip in there, and give you your flea dip. And then please proceed to the Ocean Beach Veterinary Clinic and have yourself spaded or neutered. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yes.
Good night.
That was